Oh yeah, Jilson is also saying it. Lifecoach played Prismata and streamed it when nobody else did. It doesn't matter if the game isn't popular as long as it's good. Yeah. That's one thing. But the other is, I honestly believe Artifact has it all. In Prismata it was always clear that game is definitely not for everybody. I mean, it's a beautiful game, but it's absolutely clear that it's only tailored for the very, very hardcore gaming population. That's written in stone. It's clear. It's for and it's also clear for everybody who played Prismata, guys. There's no secret about that. Yeah, Prismata is a game tailor-fitted for the absolute hardcore strategical gamer. Yeah, just pure core. Nothing bling bling. Nothing for casuals. Pure core game. What about Artifact? I don't think it's the same in Artifact. I believe Artifact is absolutely playable for the casual population. Absolutely. If I enjoy min-maxing the stats, if I enjoy putting stuff in very specific spots every freaking turn, if I enjoy min-maxing exactly that our minions are always it's also so great if you understand how to play the game. Just think about it. So you exactly set it up so to gank his heroes, but your hero survives exactly on 1 or 2 HP. Do you know how good that feels to outplay somebody and your hero survives at 1 or 2 HP? Yeah, if you don't know how that feels, you probably haven't done it. Do you know how good that feels to exactly gank his minions? And he cannot do anything about it because you outplayed him, and your minions are surviving at 1 HP, and that gives you extreme leverage, and that is why you win that game? Do you know how that feels? Amazing. It feels freakingly amazing. And you get this in this game. But if you're a casual, you have these heroes. And they are playing. And they are playing full. Those heroes, in comparison to a MOBA, where if you play the hero as a casual and your opponent plays the hero as a professional, his hero is 3 or 4 times stronger. I mean, in terms of micro and stuff, right? In Artifact, your hero, it doesn't matter how strong you are at the game. Your hero is as strong as your opponent's hero. Now you could also say, okay, we are probably doing better stuff with the hero, that might be true, but I mean just stat-wise, right? Okay, now you could argue in MOBA it's the same, but what I'm simply saying is it's not 3 or 4 times stronger, right? I mean, he takes the same damage and he also outputs the same damage. So what I'm saying is, if you are staring down at, let's say, Kifi, the Bolt, he has 6-1-11 stats. Now in a MOBA, in the hands of a pro player, he would have 6-1-11. Now, in the hand of a noob, he would probably have 3-1-11, because he still takes the same damage, but he has not the same damage output. In this game, no matter who plays Kifi the World, he does have 6-1-11. It's about smashing the heroes. The heroes will still smash. And also graphically undermined, so that's amazing. You will still have, I mean, everything is the same, right? You still have those cards, you can smash those cards onto the board like in all the other card games. It's not, it's the same, right? I mean, it's not that you're lacking onto something. I'm just talking about Prismata. So there, many aspects weren't given for the casual population. You didn't have cards, you can slam on the board. But I believe that this with the heroes, I mean, that should definitely encourage, for me, that seems to be much more fun, because you have these kingpins on the board and they are fighting also in a very, very visual entertaining way, or in a visual appealing way. Yeah, because it's wife behind that. They are doing the stuff so that it feels great, and it does, and it feels intuitive. Everything. I've never had something like, oh, that feels completely counterintuitive. No, it's intuitive. It's you can drag it, it works. Yeah, because in some games it doesn't work, right? In some games you drag and you are not allowed to drag. You have to click and then you have to click his thing. But no, you can do both. You can click and click, you can drag. You have all that. It has everything, guys. Really. Okay. Solafleer. Hey, Lifecoach, I really enjoy your stream, and this has given me more insight into the game. And I think that's also important, right? About the insight. So many people are already kind of refusing to play that for too much time before they have even given it a shot. And that's why I'm also here, to give you a little bit more insight, to show you what actually is exciting about Artifact. Because if you always hear this negativity, obviously it has some effect, unfortunately, yeah. I'm saying that because if unreflected trolls are ranting on the game, unfortunately it does have an effect on the casual population. Yeah, it does. Yeah, and I mean, that's really sad, because if uninformed people are brabbling nonsense and putting that word out in the world, it has some kind of effect. Yeah, I mean, I would nearly say Blizzard is paying people to trash talk the game if it wouldn't be so absurd. I'm not saying that, by the way. Yeah, that's like very Illuminati. But I'm just saying from what I see out there and like the general perception, I wouldn't be surprised if that would be the case. It's definitely not the case, guys. But I'm just saying it feels like that, right? Because it's so nonsense. This controversial thing is so nonsense that you can only imagine. I mean, I don't even know how you could ever, but I think I made the point. But I believe, I've talked about it. I think a ladder is inevitable. It has to come. Now, usually, if it would be, I don't know, a different company, I would probably wonder when that might happen, and maybe I would also think, hey, is it even worth it? Because if there is no ladder, there's no future for me, at least, in Artifact. Like, makes sense, right? I feel it's very important. So if I would think that they won't implement the ladder, okay, makes sense, right? But given my past experience with Vive, I know, and this is important, right? Because that was one of the reasons, I mean, with Hearthstone. Because they promised you 2 years out of the blue, out of the sky, everything will be, I talked about it very often, so I really don't want to, yeah, I mean, everybody who's following me since some time, they know, yeah? So Blizzard basically always tried to leverage everything without really giving up something. So what I'm saying is it's obvious that they did nothing for the esports community. Like really nothing. For the pro community, they basically kicked it with their feet. Now you might say, okay, now they implemented some kind of tournament mode, but this kind of tournament mode they do have is kind of ridiculously low for the amount of money they earn. So they basically put not even 1% back of their earnings into the pro community, which is pretty low, I feel. But there were also many other things where always everything was done for the casual population, like release on the iPad, nerfs was very difficult to be played decks, and so on and so on. So everything for the casual population. So it was obvious that they don't go into the esports direction, or at least didn't want to even do the smallest compromises, like the smallest agreements towards the pro player direction. That itself is not a problem for me, right? I mean, that's whatever. If they are just communicating that openly, not a problem. But what they did is, yeah, they just thought, okay, hey, if we just tell the pro population that we are doing most we can to soothe the pro population, so yeah, they are saying, yeah, we are doing our best for that. But in the end, if we won't, maybe they won't even realize. So they basically praised from the heavens 2 years, nothing changed, and after 2 years, even the last one knew, okay, it's not gonna happen. But that 2 years obviously gave them leverage. I mean, I would have quitted Hearthstone way before if I would have known that they do nothing for I mean, really, yeah, it's, I'm feeling a little bit cheated out of my time there, yeah, because obviously if there are promises, you think about, okay, you're being taken seriously as a pro player, or the pro scene is being taken seriously, so there will probably be changes, but there never were. Okay. So I could name many examples, but I think we are also through with Hearthstone, so it doesn't make sense to be negative about that or something. Yeah, that's just a thing of the past. But what I'm saying is, I have the feeling Vive is different, very different. They listen to players. Yeah, they take the feedback and they incorporate the feedback. It's even the opposite. They are very, very, I would say, they even want the feedback. It's not even that, I mean, sometimes in other games you might really have the feeling, hey, they don't appreciate the feedback at all, so maybe I just don't say anything to that. But Valve is even looking for the feedback. Yeah, they are, they are asking, and if you give feedback, they are very deliberate. You have also a dialogue, and very often, surprisingly often, the feedback is also put into action. You won't believe it, but one of the feedbacks, I mean, there were really, really few cards becoming nerfed in the beta, and one of those was Cheating Death. I'm not kidding. So people complained about Cheating Death a lot. Cheating Death costs 3 mana at that point. I mean, I don't know. I really don't want to talk too much about the beta because I'm also not exactly sure how much. I mean, I'm probably allowed to talk about that stuff, but I mean, I don't want to talk about. I mean, maybe they are also not fine with giving away everything from the beta, but I think this with Cheating Death is definitely fine. So Cheating Death costs 3 mana at that point, and that was I think one of the few changes. I mean, there was also Golden Ticket. Golden Ticket was at 7 gold, way too good for a very random card. So that was super annoying. So they buffed it. I mean, they nerfed it basically to 9 gold. So now it's nearly unplayable, but that's fine because it's a freaking RNG card, like big time. So if I mean, people used it in tournaments, in constructed, and also in draft, and that's obviously super annoying. So they nerfed it to a point where it's not really playable any longer. And the same actually went for Cheating Death, so it costs 3 mana and was obviously way too strong. So they nerfed it, but they didn't nerf it to 4 mana, they nerfed it to 5 mana, believing that this is enough of a nerf. And I cannot blame them, because, hey, they thought it's probably, I mean, it's a strong card for 3, but obviously RNG takes a big role, so they said, no, 4 mana might not even be enough, we put it to 5 mana. And I'm 100% sure they thought, okay, that's done. Now it's now it's definitely a casual card. It doesn't do enough, so probably you won't see that in tournaments at all. They were wrong about that, but doesn't matter. I mean, it's you can already see that there, right? So the Cheating Death is so prevalent now is, I would nearly call that coincidence, because you couldn't at that point. You could definitely not see that Cheating Death at 5 mana would be so overpowered. I mean, it's not even overpowered, but that it would see so much play. Okay, so yes, I believe they are listening. I also see what they are doing. They are doing great work, and I also believe that whenever there were changes, again, my experiences, there were a lot of changes. My experience is 80-20. 80% of the changes are very good, 20% are not so good. But that's a very good ratio, because I have seen definitely different ratios. Nibble, my son, says, we really need to stop reading Reddit. Reading Reddit makes your IQ go down. That's definitely true. And the more I read about Reddit, I also, I really also come to the conclusion that maybe our platform might even be bigger, at least commitment-wise. Because if I take a look at other platforms, I mean, mainly Reddit, we see, I mean, I can probably check now how many people are online on Reddit at the moment in Artifact. But they are also, of course, so at the moment it's 2,800, but those 2,800 are probably not even sitting in front of the PCs, right? So we can probably assume around 2,000. And that's a funny thing, right? I mean, if we see ourselves as a platform as well, I mean, our community, I mean, usually we usually have also 2,000 people in here. So yeah, so it's basically already bigger than Reddit. I mean, bigger than the amount of people on Reddit active. Yeah? And if you are also taking into consideration that our community actually, I mean, not everybody has to love the game, but we are definitely more involved in Artifact than those on Reddit are, who just troll there. Maybe they go, I mean, probably next station of the train is like Hearthstone, right? So I would not be surprised if those guys would be active in Artifact and Hearthstone, and maybe also trolling a little bit in the Gwent Reddit as well. Yeah, some people just don't have a life. Okay, good. Yeah, maybe if they would invest their Reddit trolling time into playing Artifact. But yeah. Well, Xeor, thank you very much for the subscribe. Okay, my good mate. Look at the game where a hyped tower survived with 1 HP. Yeah, sucked. But I could have also prevented that. But time was an issue. Okay. And this is the next thing, right? I mean, then also, yeah, I'm just very happy, right? I mean, also with this content creation. So now content creators are partly dropping because they think, hey, we are so clever, we are just dropping the game. And I mean, it's complete nonsense. I mean, not only does it make them completely unbelievable, I mean, not they are unbelievable, but that definitely deteriorates their credibility. What I'm saying is, yeah, I mean, Artifact is burned for them. I mean, I don't know, maybe they come back, probably they do, I don't know, yeah? But I don't care, but I'm just saying, it's not very credible if you jump on Artifact and you say, oh, that's great, and then you leave it. I mean, you know my take. If I leave games, I leave them forever. Yeah, that's also pretty clear because I don't need to explain that as well, right? Okay, so that's the one thing. It's like being in the iron for gold mine and we are mining the gold. Ping, ping. I'm not saying that you're the gold. I'm just saying we are mining gold. I mean, it's a market, right? And we are mining gold. And now 10 people are coming and they are mining gold with us. And suddenly, wait, the gold nuggets. Oh, okay, I mean, my pockets are heavy, but somebody tells me the train is going to nowhere, whatever. I don't know. I have to go. And then we are mining the gold alone. Yeah, okay, cool. I'm not only talking about this, all the aspects, right? Increasing your playing strengths now. Yeah, that might help for future tournaments and competition. I mean, do you think that people can just sit out the game for half a year and then they can join the competition? Yeah, good luck for them. I mean, if they were complaining about some kind of headset in the beta, which I, by the way, believe is also inherently wrong, yeah? I mean, this nonsense talk about this, the beta version was different, and I haven't even played it that much. And the headset, here you see that uninformed people are talking something just to talk something, right? So I've played the game actively, probably for a period of 2 months. That's my active contribution to the beta. 2 months. So if those people who complain about it would just play the game instead of complaining about it, maybe they could, they probably would have already played these 2 months of time. And it was even a different game, just saying. Yeah, because there's this nonsense gebrabbel of this 1 year. And this is another thing, right? I mean, there were people having access to the game for nearly a year, but those are not the best players. Those are not the best players, guys. Yeah? People who played the game for 1 or 2 months are already much better than them, or better than them. And that might make you think, maybe. Or you just keep on going. It has always been the same, and the world just also doesn't change. Hey, Green Being, thanks for the subscribe. Okay. World goes around, no matter how much you complain. Life goes on, and worlds continue to, in German we say, die Erde dreht sich weiter. Yeah, the world continues to rotate. There's nothing you can do about that. And Artifact will probably become a big and great game. I'm not saying it will become as big as Hearthstone. Maybe people really realize how stupid that game is. Maybe they won't. I mean, it's obvious, right? But maybe they will continue to dump their money. I mean, it's okay, whatever. Yeah. But what I'm simply saying is, it doesn't need to be. It can also coexist, like League of Legends and Dota can coexist. It's not a problem. I also know many League of Legends players are thinking, oh, Dota is not casual friendly enough. Dota players are still wondering why people are still playing LOL if there's Dota around there. I mean, yeah, it's just stuff.